Wait, Kate shouts. The red-eyed drones were just about to fire their disintegration beams. I understand. I won't ask any more questions. I'll take your word for it that the issues concerning the Ceridium towers will truly be resolved. The Overseer Protocol thanks you for your understanding, the Overseer says as the red-eyed drones are now all cancelling their beams. There is no need to worry, the Overseer Protocol is designed to carry out all its efficiency with utmost efficiency. Can we ask him to fix our stat device, by the way? We assure you that, because he was made by Lasethi, right? We assure you that you will have no reason to complain. Yes, Kate says, looking very exhausted from a previous exchange with the Overseer. I'm sure we won't. Now then, the Overseer says, is there anything else you all would like to discuss, or would that be all? No, Darren says, I think we're done. Very well, the Overseer says, then I shall return to you to your sanctuaries. One moment later, we all find ourselves back on the earthen plane inside the royal palace. It looks like the Overseer really did gain full control over his soul techniques. We didn't even have to return to our own minds by ourselves this time. As always, it has been a pleasure talking to you, the Overseer says, this time from the earthen plane. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact any of the green-eyed drones that are patrolling the city. We will get back to you with an answer in a timely manner. Hardrick says, that's great. I'm sure this time you won't ignore us like you did while we were on our way to the castle. Come on, Hardrick, let's get out of here. Darren says that he heads for the door along with the rest of us. If you were satisfied with the Overseer services, please do not forget to leave a positive rating at one of the green-eyed units. The Overseer tells us as we are exiting the throne room. Remember, your feedback always matters. How cool. So what do we do now? Hardrick asks once the door behind us closes. We are walking through the corridor leads out of the palace. There's not much we can do at this point, Darren says. We are the ones who helped the Overseer gain control of the city. It's too late to switch sides now, everything that's happened. Yeah, but don't you think we could maybe attack his core or something, Hardrick says? And then we could try to put somebody else in charge, somebody who's neither the Overseer nor a rebel. The King of the Underground never told us where the core is, Darren says, and even if we were to obtain that information from somebody else, there's no way his core wouldn't be guarded. All he needs is one drone to send us back to the ethereal plane where we wouldn't stand a chance against him. We need to be realistic here. Our role in this story is over. We are going to have to accept that. Hardrick says, it pisses me off that we are letting that smug tin can become the ruler of this place. After everything he said to us back there. But we did all agree that we'd help him defeat the rebel forces, so I admit that I'm partly to blame for what has happened. Just because he was acting high and mighty doesn't mean doesn't mean that he'll be a bad leader. Darren says, at the very least, as a machine, he should do fewer mistakes than his human predecessors. We should probably wait a few weeks to see what he does before we pass any judgments on him. Soon after we get out of the palace, we hear Flower gasping loudly while she is still being carried by Melinda's air. I think I got it, Flower says in a loud voice. Melinda, can you put me down for a second? Huh? Melinda says, oh yeah, sure. She then waves her hands towards her. What? She then waves her hands towards her. Who's her? Who is she? And Flower is gently lowered. Oh, Melinda, okay. Lower to the ground. Thanks, Flower says. Alright, here I go. Wish me luck. Before any of us have the time to ask what she's doing, Flower begins to squeeze her fist really hard while her arms are trembling in front of her. She apparently gathered every ounce of focus that she has in order to concentrate on her current task. Her eyes begins to gradually turn back to the normal green color, while the invisible burning flames in her aura also seem to be slowly getting extinguished. Was she burning her soul or something? A few seconds later, Flower returns to completely back to normal with a big smile on her face. Ha, she says happily, I did it. I can't believe I managed to do it. I have it all under control now. Look. She then squeezes her fist again and her eyes begin to turn back to the glowy red color from earlier. Right in the middle of her transformation, her eyes turn blue all of a sudden. Flower smacks herself in the head very hard, which causes her eyes to turn back to normal immediately. 1 minute, while Luna says, all I ask is for 1 minute without you doing something stupid. Can you not at least rest a little before your transformation, before you transform again? What if you got stuck again? I couldn't turn back. What then? Sorry, Flower says. I guess I just want to brag a little. I won't do it again, I promise. Man, it's been a minute. I think it's been like 3 months since I last recorded this. Honestly, it felt like longer than that, but yeah, whatever. So we are back. I will try to finish book 3 this time because, the reason why I was delaying Magium so much, I suppose somewhere in the back of my head I was like, oh, the book 4 is not out. So kinda didn't want to finish this for some reason. I don't know why. Like, what logic is that? But yeah, I'm gonna try to just record everything. Maybe not in one sitting, but soon-ish, so that I can just upload all of it and be done with book 3. I also accidentally saved over my perfect playthrough file, so I might have to go back and watch my own videos and then do the entire thing over again, so that I can do the book 3 perfect playthrough, which I have not done so far. And yeah, I'm just gonna try and finish it this time. Where were we? I think we were... I'm not quite sure what we were doing, but it was something along the lines of she transformed into the flowers. Yeah, flower transformed into some soul state or whatever. And then we... I think she transformed back. Somehow she controlled it. And so her life is no longer in danger or whatever. And we are going to continue from this point. You can practice your transformations all you like after you get a good night's sleep, Illuna says. All I'm asking is that you don't take this lightly. You've been doing high distance teleportation throughout the ethereal plane all day. It's a miracle that you didn't reach your limit yet. Let's try not to tempt fate anymore than we already have, shall we? Yes, Petal, Flower says. I understand. Good, Illuna says. Can I say just one more thing? Flower says. What? Illuna asks in an apprehensive tone. Now that we've done with the coronation and everything, Flower says, could we maybe pay a real quick visit to that building from Olinder where Melindra told us that there's a puzzle piece lying in the wait? Unbelievable, Luna says. After everything you've been through, you're still thinking about your puzzle pieces. I don't know if I have grabbed every puzzle piece in my normal playthrough, but I do know I have grabbed it in the perfect playthrough, so you're just gonna go through with this. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I've actually been meaning to ask about this too. I really couldn't care less about those puzzle pieces right now. Yeah, let's do this one. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I've actually been meaning to ask about this too. So you both want to get the puzzle pieces. What's so special about these puzzle pieces anyway? I have no idea, I say, but that's what makes it more interesting. You're coming too? Flower asks me. That's great, Melindra, can you show us where we need to go? Hey now, wait a minute, Darren says. You guys are not planning to go there alone, are you? Where? Oh, the place, okay. Why not, Flower says. The fight with Olinder is over. Shouldn't be safe to wander around the city at this point? Technically, yes, but we can't forget that there are still some royal guards left alive, Darren says. What if they want to avenge their fallen king? Oh, I wouldn't worry too much about them, I say. Loirang has most likely already fled the city by now, and that illusionist guy can't do anything on his own. Yes, but those royal guards had apprentices too, Darren says. Maybe we should all go with you just to be sure. It will take hours to get there on foot, Melindra says. We can get there much faster by flying. Can't you lift us in the air and carry us with you? Darren says. Yes, but it would take a really long time, Melindra says. Look, I've got a better idea. How about we split into 2 teams? The ones of us who can fly by ourselves will make a quick trip to the abandoned building, while the rest of you can go shopping. There's a shopping district right there around the corner, and we'll meet you over there in an hour or 2. Does that sound good to you? Everyone who can fly, Darren asks as he spends a few seconds thinking about Melindra's proposal. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea, so that would leave me, Hadrick, and Layla for the shopping team, correct? I think so, Melindra says. Kate, you can fly over long distances with the ice platform, as long as you're not carrying somebody else with you, right? Yes, I can, Kate says. Alright then, Melindra says, as she makes a quick motion with one of her hands, and her air current begins to slowly move around me, waiting for my command. Let's get going. We should be able to get there in 20 minutes or less. If I'm not mistaken, just follow me and keep a lookout for anyone who might try to attack us from the ground. Ready, I say, as Kate and Flower nod their head as well. Okay, Melindra says, let's fly. As soon as Melindra gives us the go, we all launch into the sky through our own flying method. We say goodbye temporarily to our friends on the ground. We head towards the building with a puzzle piece in it. Since we are flying at a relatively high speed and the wind is constantly blowing in our ears, we don't really talk much during our short trip, except for when Melindra gave us directions. When we are about halfway there, I suddenly feel an eerily familiar sensation of dizziness. Then my perspective switches to that of my soul on the ethereal realm plane, sitting in the empty cube that is my sanctuary. When I regain my senses on the earthen plane a few seconds later, I realize that I've lost control of my air currents and I'm falling down rapidly. I quickly move my arms up to stop myself from dropping, and then I just float there for several moments as a feeling of anxiousness begin to slowly take over me. It's happening again. Why is this happening? Wasn't it just a fluke the last time? Barry, is everything alright? Melinda says. Are the currents malfunctioning? Yeah, I think this is about that. The ethereal plane was like, oh, fuck you, how dare you fight in my realm, or whatever. And since this is not the perfect playthrough, I just went with whatever I felt like, which is obviously the wrong decision. And we continued fighting, which led the ethereal plane getting real mad.